Composed by Jerome Kern, All the Things You Are is a great jazz standard to learn if you already know a few beginner songs and you're looking to branch out into the intermediate repertoire. Hey everybody, this is Jamie Holroyd helping you learn jazz guitar. Welcome to the channel. In today's lesson, I'm going to be giving you a harmonic analysis and 2 etudes over the classic standard All the Things You Are. Let's get into it. Most jazz standards are actually 32 bars, but All the Things You Are is 36 bars. It's usually played in the key of A flat, and I break down the form by thinking of A, B, C. You could also think of it as being A, B, C, D, but I like to think of it as being A, B, C because the first 2 A sections are almost identical. So here you can see on the PDF that we're starting on the 6th of the key. So in A flat, the 6th of the key is F minor. So it goes 6, 2, 5, 1, then we go up a 4th to D flat. So all that so far is in A flat. So I'll just say those chords again. We've got 6, 2, 5, 1 in A flat, and then we've got a 4 in A flat, and then we have this quick modulation to C major. So if you look at those 2 keys, A flat and C, that's tertiary modulation, right? If you go up a third, then that is classed as tertiary modulation, and jazz standards modulate by thirds all the time. So if you can get this under your belt, then that's going to help you tackle other tunes that use the same modulation. So in All the Things You Are, the second A section is identical to the first A section, but all the chords are moved up a 4th, right? So when you go up a 4th, the first A section was in the keys A flat and C. Both of those keys up a 4th are E flat and G. And that's what happens there. So we start on the 6 again. The 6 in the key of E flat is C minor. Then we've got 2, 5, 1 in E flat. Then we go up a 4th. And then we've got a short 2, 5, 1 in G. Here are the first 2 A sections played back to back so you can hear how they sound. So 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1. Okay, so that's the first 2 A sections played back to back. Memorise those. Let's move on to the bridge. The bridge starts with a long 2, 5, 1 in the chord which you have just finished with. So we just finished with a G, so we've got a long 2, 5, 1 in G. We'll then have a major 2, 5, 1, which is a third down from the key of G. So a third down from the key of G is E major. The interesting thing about this is that we actually have a minorized 2, 5 going into the major chords. So F sharp, minor 7 flat 5, B altered, then E major. And that is a really nice sound, I think, whenever you've got minor chords that go into a major 1 chord. At the end of that bridge, we've got an altered 5 chord, which takes us back into F minor, and then we've got a 12 bar final section. This is a C section. The first 5 chords in this C section are identical to the first 5 chords at the beginning of the tune. So we've got 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, then 4 minor 7. Many jazz standards have a 4 minor 7 chord, like Misty. Then we've got a 3 minor 7, which is in this key, that gives us C minor 7. Then we've got a B diminished 7. And really the main thing that you've got here is a bass line. You've got major chord, major becomes minor, descending bass line, 3 minor 7, descending bass line again to a B diminished 7. I like to think of this as being like a G7 flat 9, really, because if you think of that in relation to C minor, then you've got a 1 chord going to a 5 chord. Okay, but the bigger job of these chords, and you'll hear this, is to try and get, it's really a back cycle to the 2 chord, right, in A flat. Okay, so once you get to that back cycle, that B flat minor, that then becomes a 2-5-1 in A flat, and that's the end of the tune. We just usually have, if you're playing it round again, you'll have a short minor 2-5 at the end there. Next, we're going to look at 2 etudes that I've written out to help you get started improvising over this tune. All the Things You Are usually has just 1 chord per bar, so you've really got to think of the shortest possible harmonic way of addressing these chords. A great way in which you can spell out these chords because they move so quick is by using triad notes. To help you get familiar with triads, I've written out a little etude which voice leads triads in the closest possible way, right? So for example, the first couple of bars of this etude you can see there, I've only moved the smallest possible amount I need to voice lead each of those chords. So here's how the etude sounds played at a slower tempo. A little bit quicker. The next etude is a quarter note etude. Because the chords move by so quick, you've always got to be thinking about how you can get into the next chord. A great way to do this is to use a consistent rhythmic value with change in harmony. Here's how this etude sounds. Besides thinking about scales and arpeggios, you can actually get a lot of mileage from the melody to All the Things You Are. Here's an example that uses a melodic embellishment of the original melody. The melody by itself is actually fairly simple, it's usually just whole notes. So we can add some enclosures and things like that to generate a bit more interest. Here's an example. One of the most challenging aspects to this song is the back cycle to the 2 chord. I'm referring to the chords that you find in the C section, which are 4 major 7, 4 minor 7, 3 minor 7, and then the diminished 7th. To combat this, you can actually just think of a guide tone that highlights each of those. The guide tone that I'm going to teach you starts on the 3rd of the major 7, then it goes to the minor 3rd of the D flat minor 7, the minor 3rd of the C minor 7, and then finally the 3rd of the B diminished 7. So by itself it sounds like that. Over the chords it sounds like this. If you want to think scales, you can think D flat major scale, D flat Dorian, C minor, and then the B diminished, you can actually treat that as a G7 flat 9, and you can address that by thinking C harmonic minor. Let's hear an example of that. To finish this class, I'd just like to share a few of the things you can try if you've been playing this song and you want to add some new elements and a new flavour to it. Barry Harris once said that the first chord in the bridge shouldn't be an A minor 11, it should be an A minor 7 flat 5. Perhaps he was saying this because the melody actually goes around a D7 flat 9. So as you'll see it written in a lead sheet in a real book, the melody would go, and here D7 flat 9, natural 9, then to G major 7. Barry Harris says that that first chord should be an A minor 7 flat 5. Here's the difference. Here's the bridge now with a flat 5 instead of a minor 11. Personally, I do think that the minor 7 flat 5 sounds a little bit better there, especially as you've got that minorized 2-5 that ends up on a major chord shortly afterwards. Speaking of the bridge, there's actually a similar trick that you can do in the bridge that happens in the verse. The harmonic formula for the verse, or the A sections of All the Things You Are, as I've said before, goes 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, and then we've got short 2, 5, up a third. You can do the same thing in the bridge, right? You can start on the 6th chord, which in G is E minor 7. You can go 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, and then you can actually go to E major. This time we're going down a third, so it's not exactly the same as the A section, but it has a similar effect. Here's all the chords in the bridge with the same harmonic treatment as the A sections. I hope that you found this video useful and it helps you get started with All the Things You Are. If you did and you would like more videos like this, then please subscribe to this channel.